All right, today I'm going to tell you how there's two ways, and there's actually many more ways, but today I'm covering two ways to make your marketing more efficient. One, this applies to Google Display, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're remarketing at. It's platform agnostic strategy. So most conversions, and now this depends a little bit on your type of business, price points, etc. But most of your remarketing conversions are going to happen in the first 7 days, 30 days, at most 45 days. But it's kind of like an inverted, like when it comes to time versus number of conversions for your marketing. But it's a super common mistake for companies to go the max pixel duration, which is 180 days, for their remarketing. And what I find in general is after 90 days, so much of it is inefficient. Your best cost per sale, best cost per lead is going to happen within that first 30 days. Now, like I said, there's rules of thumb to this. Like if you sell something that's maybe $2,000 or $5,000, it's going to have a longer buying cycle than if you're selling a $20 hairbrush. That $20 hairbrush requires a lot smaller remarketing window than that $5,000, let's just say, snowplow. So you might want to, if you're trying to sell snowplows, keeping it up for that full pixel duration is probably fine, but you're going to want to look at your cost per sale over that 90, 120, 180 days period. But to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, I'll flip it over here to this. So this is a crudely drawn graph of number of conversions over time, but this is what most remarketing graphs look like. And at a certain point, you're going to hit maybe right here and say, it's no longer profitable. You can cut out all of this spend, right? If this is the 90-day window, you can cut out all of this spend. And yeah, you're going to lose some incremental conversions here or there because of it. But those conversions were likely not profitable anyways. Those conversions were the least profitable part of your remarketing funnel. So in general, lowering that pixel length is going to ensure that your remarketing stays efficient and is the most efficient. All right, the second part I want to talk about is remarketing by devices. Now, this is a Google Display Network specific strategy, and I've used this to great effect. And this is, again, another incremental play. There's very few things that are going to just take you from doing like X amount of business and then boom, there's 100% year-over-year growth. It's more like a bunch of things that like increase cost per sale or decrease cost per sale 10% or increase number of conversions 10%. It's a bunch of small things added up over time. Is really what I found to be the general rule of thumb when it comes to digital advertising. Now, again, that's a rule of thumb. Like, it all depends. If say a company has never done digital advertising before and they got a awesome new website and then they've never done AdWords or Bing ads or anything like that, and yeah, sure, you can make a good sized impact, especially if you have a good budget to play with. But getting back to the second remarketing strategy, so underused report within Google Analytics is under mobile, you go to devices. And then there's a whole breakdown of devices, like their name, like iPhone 6, iPhone 7, Samsung Galaxy S7 and 8, and all that stuff. And then you find like crazy, weird, obscure mobile phones in there, like Kyocera and like Motorola, some Windows phone stuff. So anyways, in Google Analytics, you go to this report, and what you'll see is conversion rate, engagement, like time on site, number of pages per session, all this stuff by device. Now you go through that device, you make a list of the low converting ones. And there's a few ways you can segment. You can segment by brand, or you can segment by the actual phone itself. In general, going more segmented to the actual phone itself is going to produce better results than by brand. So I would recommend going that route. So make a list of your lowest converting or consequently your highest converting mobile phones. And then what you do is you go to your AdWords display settings. You have to go to settings, advanced devices. And then what you do is you either exclude those poorly performing devices or only target the ones with the highest conversion rate. That'll ensure your Google Display Network remarketing will only be served to devices that perform well on your website. Because there's a lot of phones out there with like device specific bugs for your website, where your website might load poorly, or maybe just in general, a certain class of mobile phones don't work well with your website. This is a good way to get those out, so you're only focusing on the higher value ones. And again, to flip this around, this is kind of what it looks like. Another hastily drawn thing here. Google Analytics devices report. Identify your low converters or your high converters, depending on whether you want to only target the high converters or exclude the low converters. Go to your AdWords settings, exclude the poor performers, and you win. All right, that is just a quick remarketing tip from Ryan McDonald here at Shade Digital. And I'm going to be doing quite a few of these in the future. Hopefully a little bit more planned out than this, but keep looking for some digital marketing tips, and thank you for watching.